Hey guys, Drutter here. It's February 18th, 2016, and this will be a silver update, or at least a quick one. But before I start on that, I just wanted to mention, this is my old camera, the camera that I've been using since 2008 on this channel. It's the only camera I've ever used on this channel. Everything that has happened on this channel, everything that you've seen has gone through that lens there. But this camera has finally died. I can still use it as a voice recording device. It still actually turns on, and it still can be used for that, but it's no longer a video camera for me. So I'm recording this using my backup video camera, which has it actually has good sound, but it doesn't sound good when I put it through the software that I use to process videos for upload. So that's why it doesn't sound very good, but I just wanted to mention that before I get started on the video. I do have another camera coming in the mail. It cost me about 60 bucks. It's this exact camera, except it's new in the box. It's somebody that bought it and just never touched it. So I won't be getting any increased capabilities like high-def video, which is unfortunate yet. But I will look for opportunities to afford a camera that does that. The only thing is I don't use cameras that have built-in Wi-Fi. I don't like my images and video to be available to listening devices and hackers and whatever else. So I will not be getting a camera with Wi-Fi, which means nothing that's been made in the past 6 years, because they don't make cameras anymore that don't have a Wi-Fi connection built into them. So I will continue to look for a camera that I can use. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, that does have the options that I need, and this Canon does do that, so I've purchased another one, and it's coming. And on with the video. When talking about a market, I like to talk about supply and demand, because normally these are forces that act upon a market to determine an accurate price. In the silver market, it's not a free market. In fact, in a lot of markets, it's not a free market. For example, the US dollar, which this silver market is denominated in itself, is a manipulated market. But we can talk about the forces of supply and demand in terms of what they should be doing to the price. For example, if demand is higher than ever, you would expect the price of that thing that's in demand to be going up. It has not been happening. So that's why we talk about supply and demand, even though it is a manipulated and not a free market, but a controlled market. And the demand for silver is often expressed in terms of the demand for silver eagles. It's just one coin, of course, but it is the most common silver coin, the most common type of silver investment. And when investment in these silver eagles is going up, investment overall is going up for physical silver. And if you notice a year or a month in particular where demand is down overall, then you can look at these numbers here on silver eagles, and you will see the numbers for these silver eagles are down as well. So it does follow along very well with global demand. And so when we talk about global demand, we can look at these numbers, and it's essentially global demand. So far in February, we've had almost 3 million ounces minted. There were almost 6 million ounces in January. It was the 4th best month of all time, and the 2nd best January and December holiday period of all time. So we're coming off of the highest silver demand in history, and it seems to be continuing here in February, as we are not even fully through the month and already up to 3 million. The highest February ever was 3.75 million, set 2 years ago in 2014. Looks like it's going to take that out, and the total for the year now is up to just under 9 million, and that's only in 47 days so far in the year. 9 million ounces. And the U.S. mines about 30 million ounces per year. Of course, only a small, tiny percentage of that can go into eagles. So they are importing a lot of silver just to cover the eagle demand, let alone all the other demand for other investment types of silver, and industrial silver demand and other types of demand as well have to come from that 30 million that they mine per year. So no, they are not going to be able to mine enough silver this year to cover even the number of eagles that they're minting, let alone all the other silver. Before I go into the price chart, what is going to happen if the price chart has bottomed here and we are going to start moving up in precious metals, which looks like it will happen now? at least in the short term. I don't know if that long-term bull market is set to resume here or not, but at $15 we are at or near a low in silver. And when that price starts to come up even a little, even above $16 or $18, that chart's going to look a lot more bullish, and you'll see that in a moment. But what's going to happen with demand? I think demand is going to go up, because demand for silver over the past few years has shown that it goes wild. It goes way up when the price goes up or when the price goes down. Essentially, it's price moves that bring in buyers to the market, well, and sellers. It brings in activity, basically, but you get a lot of sales, especially of these coins right from the mint, whenever you see the price go up or down. And the price has been pretty flat for the past, well, longer than a year, actually, on the US dollar chart. The price has been almost sideways around this $14 to $15 area, which we'll see in a moment. So it's amazing that we've been at all-time record highs for demand in a sideways price market. What's going to happen if that price moves? Let's go take a look at the price. Here's a weekly chart. This is going back a couple of years. Each bar is 1 week. And as you can see, the last couple of weeks, well, not this week, but the 2 previous weeks were great weeks. Touched 16 last week, and now we're sort of consolidating there. What's going to happen next? Is it going to come back down toward 14, or will it break above the $16 level? Now this is December 1st, middle of the night, December 1st, 2014, so that's just over a year ago. We've been basically on the US dollar chart sideways for the past year. These little moves are nothing. I mean, day traders can make a couple of bucks if that's what they're, that's what turns their crank off of these little moves, but a lot of us stackers are in it for kind of the longer term. And if you want to go and look at the longer term here in silver, as you recall, we were up to $50 in 2011. People are asking me, is this too late to buy? Did I miss the bottom? What? What are you trying to do? Buy today and sell tomorrow? No, you didn't miss the bottom. If you're stacking over the long term, this is nothing. We've gone up $1 from the lows, and people are worried about missing the bottom, and they're not going to invest in physical silver bullion because they missed out on that $1 of the trade? I don't get it. I've been a buyer since, well, I've been a buyer at every point on this chart, let's just say. Let's go back even further. I've been a buyer at every point on this chart, going back to 2009. That's as far back as this weekly chart will take me. I've bought it in every bar here. I've even bought here. I bought it 48 or something, 47 I think. And the physical silver was actually $52 or $53 at 47. The premiums were about $6. And I've bought down at $11 or $12 when I first got into it, and I'm buying here at 14 and 15. Silver's my savings. I save in silver. I don't have any savings right now, unfortunately. I mean, I have a couple of coins, but it's about the philosophy of it for me. I invest in silver when I can, and that's my savings. I hold that as long-term savings, and if I have to spend it, that's what money's for. You have to spend it. I mean, unless you're going to pass it on to your descendants. But money is for spending at some point. So, yeah, I have to spend my savings sometimes, and that's totally cool. I have had to spend a lot of my savings on this ride down. I've sold at 26, and I've sold at 20, and I've sold at 18, and I've sold at 16. I've sold at and bought at almost every number on this chart. I'm not in it for investing. I'm not in it to accumulate money based on my money. I'm not trying to use money to make more money. That's what a banker does. I'm not speaking out against investing as an activity overall, but I'm certainly mentioning the fact that we are investing against each other here. We trade silver on exchanges, of course, and physical silver at an actual bullion dealer. But the bullion dealer and the exchange and the bank and the government, i.e. the house, always wins. They always win. You can't trade this market and win or lose and then assume that the house isn't winning. The house is always winning whether you win or lose. So who are you really investing against? The banks? The exchanges? The dealers? No. You are investing against other investors. So when you win, you're taking money from other people like yourself, and when you lose, you're giving money to other people like yourself. And you're always giving a portion to the house, the bank. I'm not an investor. I'm not trying to create money based on my savings. I'm not trying to make my savings into more than they are without doing any work myself. I don't believe in that even. I don't think that's where money comes from. That's not where real value comes from. Real value comes from creating things, from inventing things, from creating ideas, sharing ideas, spreading ideas, creating products and services and businesses. Those are real investments. That's a real way to profit and create value. I don't see trading as investing at all. I don't see it as creating value at all, absolutely. And I don't see it as anything that's productive in terms of defeating the banks. A lot of people think, oh, I won, I beat the bank, I made money on my investment. No, you just took money from some other guy like you. It's gambling is what it is. And I don't participate in that myself. But it is very important to follow along this chart. If you are involved in the market in any way, for example, if you're a stacker and you want to look for time to buy, I mean, you want to buy on these lows if you can. If you're buying physical metal, don't you? You'd go to the grocery store and you'd buy a bag of potatoes when it went down to $3 from $8, right? You'd buy that. Why would you not look for a deal in metal as well? If you're trying to day trade and just get in and out of this market and trying to make a profit off of that, that's not what this channel is about, and you're welcome to do that if that's what you think is really going to help. But I think really what you're doing is you're helping yourself and you're enriching the banks. And really that's about it. You're competing against other people like yourself, and when you win, you don't really win. But what's going to happen next in this market? I think if we make highs above 16 and then maybe 18, you're going to be looking at a resumption of this bull market, and this move will be called into question and possibly reversed. And we'll be headed toward the 30s and 40s again. And if not, the $14 level will be tested, and if that's taken out, I don't really know where that'll go, but like Endless Mountain and others have said, it'll probably retest 12 and possibly even go down into the single digits briefly. You probably won't get physical silver bullion anywhere near those prices. And like I mentioned before, if we do see a big price move, either below 14 or above 18, then you're going to see demand take off, and we're already at all-time highs for demand, so that will only just spark a buying frenzy, really, and that's not healthy for anyone. That kind of a frenzy just makes prices go wild, makes people do weird things and invest in things that they weren't planning on doing. If prices move up from here, or even down below 14, there might not be a lot of physical metal available again. Or if it goes to the upside, there might not be any physical metal available again at these prices ever. I'm not trying to be alarming, but it is a good idea to at least have a core position, or at least have a couple of coins or a bar or something in your possession, in your house, and keep that safe. And that's your stored value. That's your money. No one even knows about it. No one can change the value of it by snapping their fingers. And that's really why I stack. It's a long-term savings. Yeah, you do want to buy it when it's cheaper, if you can. That's why we look at the chart to time our buys, to time our stacking. Is this a good spot? Yeah, I think it is. Do your own research. I've done mine. That's my opinion. And it does look like this is going to be another record year. We've already had a record first 47 days of the year. So I think that this 9 million is going to be somewhere up in the 50 to 55 million ounce range this year, depending on a couple of main factors. One, are they going to be able to keep up with demand? In past years, especially last year, it was at least 5 months where they had to just shut down completely. No, sorry, we don't have any silver. If they can keep up with demand, we'll definitely see 50 to 55 this year. And two, the price. If the price goes above $16 or $18, stays there, and then moves up from there, demand will go through the roof. 55 million wouldn't even be close to covering it. It's going to be 60 to 70 million. And past years we've had maybe 30 to 40 million was the the record, and 47 million was last year, an all-time record. I think 50-55, maybe even 60 million if we get a convergence of, yes, they have enough silver available, and the price goes up above 18 and stays there, and we get a new bull market. Consider getting your silver now, even though demand is through the roof. The price is still low. If you've got access to physical silver at these prices, it is probably a good idea. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, quick note, I have caved in and I've accepted Google+. Not cool, I know. I continue to speak out against Google+, even while taking it myself. And I don't recommend anyone else get it just to comment on YouTube. But it became impossible to run this channel any further as they've taken away even more abilities. I can't delete comments. I can't even view my comments anymore without having Google+. So it became a necessity. Either it was that or I had to leave YouTube. And I was not ready to do that. So unfortunately they have forced me into accepting Google+, just so I can continue to use this site. But I will do that and give up a bit of my own privacy so that I can continue to advance the message that I want to advance. And along those lines, I've also recently got Facebook, so I'll put the link to that down below. And I would encourage you to join me on Facebook. Use the follow button rather than the friend button, unless you and I are actually friends in real life or have known each other online well for many years. But if we're just acquaintances, or if you just follow my channel and stuff like that, I would like you to follow me on Facebook, and it'll keep you apprised of any public posts I make, which is quite a few. I put a lot of my posts as public posts. I talk about same stuff as the channel, but also other stuff and local activism as well on there. So please follow me along there and look for my comments on this channel and other channels as well. I always have loved commenting on YouTube. It's one of the first things I ever did when I first got on YouTube. I just said, you know what, I have an opinion and I'm going to comment on everything I see, and I did. And that led, of course, to me getting this channel started and doing videos myself. But when they took away commenting at the end of, what was it, 2013, when they brought in Google+, I was devastated. I mean, and it's been tough for this channel to even survive without comments, because posting comments on other people's channels, you get interest on your own channel, and being able to respond to questions and comments on your videos helps bring people back and carry on the conversation and share information and stuff like that. So it's really tough to not be able to communicate other than to upload a video every time I want to say something. So it's going to be really nice to comment again. So put your questions down below if you already have Google+, and I can get back to them that way now. And of course also check me out on Facebook. I'll put a link to my contact info down below, and you can check out my Facebook and other contact info. Thank you guys. I will talk to you again soon.